things that happen when we have the youth leader competition. One is the awareness, so that especially children who get comfortable in a kind of a cocoon, for them to sit up and realize that everything is not hunky-dory and there are many issues that are facing us. Secondly, to lend their support to activities like, on the environment or on waste management, on looking after our water conservation. So second is to lend their support to such activities. And the third and most important is to think of solutions. The TGELF started on this journey long before anybody else did. And recently, one of our schools from Dehradun, the Purkul Youth Development Society School, actually won an international competition for their innovative solutions.
We are so delighted to have Sharmishta from Johnson & Johnson, who is here with us. So Rahul, over to you to please introduce and invite Sharmishta to address everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. We welcome Ms. Sharmishta Biswas from Johnson & Johnson. She's the manufacturing leader for consumer health products at J&J plant in Baddi, which is in Himachal Pradesh. She's also the India champion of Wisdom 2D, Women in Science, Technology, Engineering, Math, Manufacturing, and Design, where she is working with a group of passionate leaders to promote gender equality and equity across science and technology industries.
So excited to be here. The first thought that comes to my mind is, and I heard a few presentations, is agility. And why agility is also because when we started the program, I think Dinu and the team, Wisdom 2D's team, painstakingly started this program almost 6 or more months back, and the discussion has been going on for more than a year. And during this time, I even changed my role. So from manufacturing leader, I've moved on to doing something else. But anything related to science, technology, engineering, math, manufacturing, design, all of those things, I think I'll always be a STEM professional, irrespective of what role I do. And who better than Gen Z to actually show the global citizenship that they care so much about. I think it's one of those generations that really throws caution to the wind when it comes to boundaries, barriers to solve problems. It's absolutely amazing.
Thank you very much.
Let me now quickly take the opportunity to introduce our esteemed panel of judges for joining us from all across the globe. And if we could have the slides on. Thank you. So we will quickly begin. The first we have is Mr. Bhimashankar Shetkar, Manager Innovations and Project Management, National Dairy Development Board, Gujarat. Worked on designing and executing renewable energy projects for farmers. He also established farmer-owned cooperative centered on milk, solar energy, and biogas. Is currently pursuing prestigious German Chancellor Fellowship at Germany, where only 10 professionals are selected from the entire country and funded by government of Germany. The fellowship project he's working on is livestock manure management, technologies of Germany, and applicability in India. We welcome you today. The next we have, thank you. The next we have is Mr. Gaurav Sharma, CEO and Happiness Head at Thank You at ACIC VGU Foundation and Managing Director at the Green Space Solutions LLP. He's also been a 2-time TEDx speaker and is known as the Trashman of Rajasthan. The co-chair at Youth for Sustainability India Alliance, is also the co-member of Friends for Leadership. He also enjoys hosting podcasts and is a fellow at Rajiv Circle Fellowship, Silicon Valley. We welcome you, Mr. Gaurav.
Thank you, Rahul. Thank you.
Let's move on. The next we have is Mr. Dilip Tripathi. Mr. Dilip is the Senior Manager, Essential Health, India. A PhD in organic chemistry, synthesis of some novel and fused heterocycles with 5 publications. He really enjoys movies and traveling, exploring new places. With 20 years of industry experience ranging from synthesis, pharmaceutical, and consumer. 14th year with Johnson & Johnson Private Limited, India. Successfully set up A&DA lab at FDC Limited. pharmaceutical regulatory expert, and has also set up of the analytical validation department in Johnson & Johnson, Mumbai. We welcome you, Mr. Dilip.
Thank you, Rahul. Thank you.
And now we move on to Mr. Nainish Tikku, relationship evangelist, strategic partnerships, a development management professional with cross-functional and cross-sectoral experience of having worked with multilateral, international consulting and private sector organization. Possesses good experience of working at a high level in public or private sector, issues related to education and TVET, women empowerment, health, and cluster development. We welcome you, Mr. Nainish.
Thank you, Rahul. It's always a pleasure being here. Look forward to the competition.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let us move on. The next we have is Ms. Rucha Kedkar, Manager, Women Health R&D Asia Pacific, with more than 15 years of industry experience, R&D professional with past association with Unilever, Clariant Chemicals, Johnson & Johnson, North America, and being part of J&J Consumer India for past 14 years. She strongly believes that it's important to give back to society in whatever way she can. One way is to inspire girls and women to recognize their individuality and to be given an opportunity to make a choice of what she believes in. We welcome you, Ms. Rucha.
Thank you, Rahul. Looking forward for great interaction today.
Thank you so much. And the next we have is Ms. Rosaline Oba. She is a nurtured and trained trainer, consultant in peace journalism, do no harm in conflict transformation of unquestionable metal. With over 16 years of her experience of quality service, she has distinguished herself severely as a leading peace activist and outstanding communication expert. She is also Cameroon chapter president of the Young African Women Congress Network and vice national coordinator of the Gender Data Network Cameroon. It will take a whole volume to mention her countless achievements and the multiple awards and recognitions she's received in this domain for her outstanding leadership. We welcome you, Ms. Rosaline.
Thank you so much, and it's a pleasure to be part of this groundbreaking event.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's equally a pleasure for us, especially you taking out time from a different part of the world, and especially with the time difference. And on that note, let us quickly begin with our presentations for today. As you all can see, the Youth Leader Finalist Schools for 2021 that made it to the cut are these 13 schools that we have with us today. Delhi Public School, Sector 45, Gurugram, Delhi Public School, Srinagar, the Delhi Public School, Shashantlo, Gurugram, Gateway, the Complete School, Chennai, Happy Day School, Shivpuri, Holy Child School, Panchkula, Maharaja Sawai Bhavani Singh School from Jaipur, Tagore International School, east of Kailash, Tagore International School, Vasant Vihar, Delhi, the Sri Ram School, Aravali, Gurugram, the Sri Ram School, Malsari, Gurugram, Vivek High School, Mohali, and Welham Girls Schools from Dehradun. We will begin with our presentation.
Namaste, I'm Avni Singh.
And I'm Tarini Malhotra.
We're from the Sri Ram School, Malsari, and we're presenting Project Nishant. We aim to help mentally diverse people gain access to employment. Our name is derived from the word Nishant, meaning new beginnings, and our logo, the butterfly, symbolizes change. Now, I'd like to give you an overview of the timeline of Project Nishant. It was conceived in October 2020, and by July 2021, we had a vision, goals, and a structure. In August, we brought ecosystem partners on board while designing our project. We reached out to partners in September when our website went live as well. In October, we began hiring, and in November and December, we conducted an art exhibition and were featured on the news.
Good afternoon, everyone. We, the students of Happy Day School, have selected the SDG theme Climate Action, under which we have been working on the making of eco-bricks. Since it is quite easy to prepare eco-bricks, therefore not just us, but all the students, teachers, and the communities have been lending their services to our project.
We were deeply affected by these incidents and wanted to draft a solution which could be easy and quick to this problem. So, to fight this monster called the plastic, we have a superpower with us called the Eco-Brick, one smart solution to all your problems.
When it comes to the advantages, one can see that 1 kg of eco-bricked plastic prevents 3.1 kg of carbon dioxide emission in the environment.
Greetings to everyone present here. My name is Niyati Rao and I'm here today with my partner Advaita H to present a community service project called Project Pratishta.
So since Niyati has already introduced me, I would like to begin the presentation with the backstory as to what inspired us to start this project. A family member of our friend suffered a medical emergency last year. They went from hospital to hospital due to financial constraints. Do you remember, Niyati, when we heard about this, we wanted to do something for them, but we weren't able to take immediate action.
I recall looking online for some schemes and hitting the jackpot by coming across Ayushman Bharat Yojana, after which we advised our friend to apply for the same, and with the help of it, they were able to admit their family member in a private hospital and got the help that they needed.
For everyone, Delhi Public School, Shashant Lok Gurugram. The students presenting are Aditya De and Arnav Sharma.
Having a mental health disorder isn't easy, and it's even harder when people assume that you can just get over it. Mental health issues are considered a stigma still in the 21st century. So for that, we have created Joy, a very own mental health care assistant.
Is being represented by Aditya Khurana and Aditya Singh Vardhan. Please be ready with your presentation.
We are working on the ESG theme of quality education. We just now saw how many difficulties children in the remote areas face to get proper education. And this is what hinders the development of a country. So we aim to improve the quality of education in our country, as it is the basic foundation of any nation. So the name of our project is the Vanderbilt Plan, and here we go.
Good afternoon to one and all present. My name is Nehal Suresh J, and this is my partner Skanda Mahesh. We are from Gateway the Complete School, Chennai. We are here to present our project, Innovations in Education, Paper Tone. By the end of this presentation, you will understand the current state in which education for the visually impaired is and how we plan on improving.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and all esteemed guests. Since the past 2 years, our smiles have been hidden and our faces burdened by the presence of a humble mask. Today, we, the students of Deepest Gurgaon, would like to present before you unmasking sustainability towards a sustainable ecosystem.
Team number 8, Welham Girls Schools. Students representing are Meenal Jain and Kritika Gupta.
Greetings to one and all. Would you believe that an average Indian wastes a whopping 50 kgs of food per year? Statistics, however, tell a different tale. Ironically, India was ranked 94 out of 107 nations in the last year's Global Hunger Index.
Nine, over to you now.
Good afternoon. We are Project Saksham, a 5-year-old community service project initiated by Saburi Chopra and Tanish Chaudhary.
Project Saksham started in 2016 when youth leaders from Special Olympics Bharat came to our school for a youth activation session where they left us quite interested in the mission of inclusion and to reduce inequalities.
Next team to go up is Vivek High School, Mohali. Please be ready with your presentation. From Vivek High School, Mohali, we have Manushri Chuk and Gurnaz Kaur.
Yes, we are.
Vivek High School, you're on.
मेरे घर में खुद आज मैं ये सोचती कि अगर मैं घर का काम करूं तो मेरी बेइज्जती ना हो।
अच्छा, किस तरह से?
कि औरत ही घर का काम संभाले।
I don't know which party my wife belongs to, but she belongs to my kitchen and my living room.
His wife belongs to his kitchen. Gender inequality, misogyny, gender stereotype, crime against women. One burning question: where does it all stem from? Well, the uneducated, the illiterate, the rural class is to be blamed. Lack of education, you say. Well,
the next school to go up is Maharaja Savai Bhavani Singh School, Jaipur. The students presenting for Team 11 are Arjun Mehta Harish and Mia Mehta.
Education is the passport to the future. Good afternoon, everyone. My teammate Nia Mehta and I, Arjun Mehta, are representing our school, Maharaja Savai Bhavani Singh, for our digital literacy project, Educate to Empower.
Students participating for Team 12 are Khetabjeet Singh and Vansh Wahi. Over to you.
This catastrophe in the Indian healthcare system, during the second wave, led us to identify the loopholes that have resulted in the mismanagement of patient load and inadequate inventory.
To empathize with the ground reality, we began our crusade with successful interaction with medical professionals. They attributed the health crisis to lack of preparedness. They firmly believed that data science would have helped them predict disease outbreaks and evaluate hospital preparedness in advance.
Team 13, Delhi Public School, Srinagar. The students presenting is Anushay Mir. Unfortunately, one of the students is not present because of being tested positive for COVID. But we wish the team all the best. We have Anushay here who will be presenting.
I want everyone to just close your eyes and imagine this way. Okay, it's lunchtime and your mother has prepared you lunch. But it just so happens that the dish your mother has prepared is particularly of not your liking. So what do? You just get upset and do not eat. Well, fair enough, because that's not something you wanted to have. Now I want you to imagine another situation. You're born into a family that's very poor and in a rural area. You're born in the family that does not have a stable income, and you're not sure that will your family even have one meal for the day or not. Okay, you see as the bodies of your loved ones is growing weaker and weaker because they're starving to death. Well, that did not feel good, did it? But that's the story that over 811 million people go through every day.
In your app, you also have a feature which is called as diary, right? I really like that feature for sure. But many a times you're trying to address mental health, right? Mental issues. Diary is something people reserve it to themselves. What's your take on them?
So,
yeah,
this is, I like enough to compare, sure.
Sir, so what I feel is a diary is one place where a person can write down their innermost feelings, right? And I can see that people might be concerned about, being feeling insecure about writing it on an app, but we can guarantee that whatever they write, they're the only people who will have access to that. No one will know what they write there, only them. And that's why mostly people don't prefer writing normally. Instead, they prefer typing. So that's again why people would use the diary and prefer the diary.
And adding on to that, we also have this padlock system. Like when we write upon diaries as teenagers, like in our olden days, we used to lock it up so that no one reads it. But right now we have the security password. Like there are certain apps such as the calculator app where you can put certain equations that equates to some number. Upon that only that section will open. Like considering if my favorite number is 27, I can put a 9x3, then only will the diary open.
Great feature on that. And just out of curiosity, so out of the 45 volunteers, I believe the one who tested your app, how many wrote in the diary?
How many wrote in the diary? So diary was used basically more by the girls. I'm not stereotyping here, but it was intended, like girls were using it more there, and it was about 10 because it was grade 10 and grade 11. So grade 10 received more users.
Okay, I have just one issue, especially concerning your future plans. How inclusive is your approach?
So how inclusive our approach is? Could you elaborate a little?
How inclusive, like for example, you have a target. Inclusive means you're dealing also with persons with disabilities, visual impairments, and all the like. How are your future plans going to touch even such persons?
So for implementation, like when we have this device of ours, considering this is my device, and I'm having a panic attack in the middle of nowhere, there are accelerometers in this device that could detect any movement. So based on that movement, can we implement that a helpline number could be dialed? Or, for example, like in this thing, there is this emergency one. So we can also add this emergency aspect and link it to our app. So basically, we could otherwise also contact medical healthcare associates. Adding on to the webinar section, there are a lot of psychologists and NGOs that are intending to help us for free. They're basically for public uses. So we could ask them and tell them that please help us. We would like to organize this webinar that could help a lot of people in our community. For example, a teenager community. Like right now, I'm mentioning teenager a lot because that is how we are pilot testing the app. We will progressively increase the age group, but right now we are just testing it between us teenagers. And for the friend connectivity, there is this contact book. So when we log on to some social media apps such as Facebook or Instagram, we have this option of accessing contacts. So when we link up the contacts, we could build a community around it. And using the Vent chatbot, we could link people contacting each other and seeing each other's progress. And based on that, they could analyze that, yeah, my friend is doing well. Like considering when me and Arnav, we both were having our issues respectively, we both are best friends. So I used to continuously check up on him, and he used to check up on me how I am doing. So we could initiate or facilitate this by using the Vent chatbot and the app itself.
Adding on, we also had an idea where we would include more than one languages so that people who don't necessarily know English could also use the app.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Good evening, ma'am, sir.
Good evening, teachers.
Okay, so we have the Wellham Girls School ready, sir, for your question and answer, ma'am. Thank you, girls, for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for joining, and very well presented. Firstly, on the so your topic was agro.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
It was very well presented. So I have only one question for you. So I know that you're taking the support of the Robin Hood Army, right, for delivering the food packages and also to contacting them. Any other plans of reaching it out to others or to scaling it up to a larger extent, or you yourself converting yourself into a Robin Hood Army sort of play?
Yes, sir. Thank you for the question. So basically, what we are planning to do is right now, agro is just an educational drive. So basically, we empower every urban household and rural household, and we also educate the farmers about new agronomic practices. As for donating rations, we are also considering more NGOs. We have also written mails to many more NGOs, but they haven't replied back. Also, recently, one of the NGO from Telangana emailed us that they want to, collaborate with us. So, of course, we'll be taking it forward.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hope that answered your question.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you very much for answering. Yeah, Rose, sorry.
Okay. Thank you very much. Your presentation was quite good. Just to find out from you concerning the aspect of collaborating with other NGOs. For NGOs that you cannot be able to get positive responses, what can be the cost, and how do you plan on getting them on board?
Ma'am, I guess when you do good, everyone wants to join in, and these NGOs are already focused on, be the generation to reach zero hunger goal. So, and like ma'am, I'd like to ask you a question. Were you convinced from a presentation that that you should adopt aquaponics at your home, for an example, so that you don't? Okay, so suppose, ma'am, were you convinced that you shouldn't waste food?
Of course.
Right. So it just like you were convinced, we will try our very best to convince other NGOs as well. And ultimately, it always starts less. Like right now, Robin Hood Army, and it's a long run process. It won't happen in just couple of months or couple of years. We'll have to keep working on it. We'll have to keep posting on social media. We'll have to keep educating more and more people. And ultimately, when it will become big enough, I'm sure more and more NGOs will email us directly to collaborate with us. And I'm sure that they will reach out to us and not we reach out to them.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Let's hear from the judges. Judges, how has it been for you in the room? I'm sure, we've been here with all the curiosity, but while you were in the breakout room, reflecting back on the projects, the presentations that you've seen in the last couple of hours, how was it for you? Anyone would like to share?
I will jump on because I wanted to say this eagerly. Please call me for next event also.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, because I know wherever I will be, I will definitely take time for this. And this was so amazing, like just to think about a problem and coming up with the solution. It doesn't matter whether the solution fits or it sustains or something, that is a different part, but the very awareness of the problem that among the students and among the school, it's not just about the team which is doing some kind of solutions. The moment anybody participates into this, they are doing it for the whole school, and it makes a lot of difference. And for me, I learned a lot, like, and this was kind of first event wherein like I'm like judging in this kind of program, and it was really a great learning experience. So that's why I said, like, please call me back again, because I would like to learn more and more in future also. Yeah,
Absolutely. I think we would love to have your presence for our upcoming events as well, and the fair share of insights that you will have. I'm sure our students have surprised you with the kind of pitches they had presented. But let's thank you. Can we hear from our other judges as well? I can
So
see
Rahul,
Mr. Nanish.
let me
Yes,
go ahead.
please, sir,
Sorry,
please go
Nanish.
ahead. No,
So
please.
first of all, I'll say I was mentioning to Sachi that I'm privileged, and thanks. I can see Sarmisha laughing out here. Definitely privileged to be part of this. Been in the fraternity, I would say science fraternity. Very awestruck with science. Wherever there is science, I'll definitely jump into it. But here, what I saw, it was not only science. It was multiple things, and really, it inspired. And I would say I was fortunate enough to witness these amazing brains, right? And I was reflecting what were we doing in our school. But yeah, it is truly amazing the way the students have presented and the way they have thought about the ideas. And I'll tell you, even though Bhima has mentioned that he would like to be a judge, definitely I would like to be a judge, but it is still good to just sit and listen. It's very difficult to judge. I'll tell you the score, and Dino is nodding. It's very difficult, right? Because each and every idea had a purpose, right? They had a purpose. They had some sense of belonging, right? And as truly living into the core of STEM and truly living into the core of sustainability, which the students have thought about. I think it's kudos to everybody and to their teachers as well to come up with such brilliant minds. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dilip. That was fantastic. Thank you, and thank you for spending your time and being here with us, and giving us your expertise and sharing that with us. Thank you so much.
Ms. Roseline, if we could hear from you, how's your experience been? I know you joined us from far off distance.
Sorry, I didn't. I was muted. It was really a fantastic exercise, especially as I came with a few conclusions that it actually indicates that from all the projects, the youths are ready to take over our planet, because from the different projects, in fact, I could see that they are so concerned with the happenings of our present times, the challenges that even the common man is facing. And I am leaving with the recommendation that this particular exercise, this being my first time of attending, is like a learning experience, and I would like it to be broadened so that other youth mindsets too can actually be stimulated to work this fast to actually arrest the precarious challenges that we have in our different countries. So I want to believe that, honestly, the projects are things that are already feasible. And I think if they have to be actualized using the future plans, I think we are going to be saving a generation, if the present generation and the generations to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us. And if we can move to other judges, if you have anything else to add on here about your experience, and then we will quickly move on to something that all of us are waiting for. Anything else that needs to be added or something that you'd like
I
to
can
share?
share, Rahul.
Please.
Am I audible? So
yes, you are.
I'll not take much time. So I think I've seen entrepreneurship mindsets at work, 21st century skills in action. I think a lot of hard work and smart thinking on real world problems by young people. And definitely, just testimony of the hard work that all of you guys, as well as teachers, parents, and our young generations programs. Extremely fortunate, feeling extremely fortunate, and also I think I'm extremely difficult to judge any one of them as better. So as a judge, I think we had very difficult time in terms of thinking all of them are like neck to neck, and give are bringing up exciting propositions and solutions for the world. So
thank you so much.
And with that, thank you very much to all of our students, to all of our teachers, to all of our judges and guests. Rucha ma'am, I'm seeing the comment that you put into the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to Sharmishta, to Geetal. This wouldn't have been possible without you all. Thank you for all your support, your help, and your guidance that you all keep giving to us.